So it's winter, and that means one thing for us riders: riding in the winter is nearly unavoidable, and it gets dark as early as 5 p.m. So let's be honest, if you're a beginner rider, night riding can be pretty scary. Most of us never had our lessons in the dark, so that's gonna be something we need to figure out on our own. And personally, I really love riding in the night. It's quiet, less busy, and there's something relaxing about it. But you gotta be extra cautious, and to help you guys stay safe and enjoy your ride at night, I'm gonna share 5 tips with you on how you can do that safely. Let's go. Tip number 1 is your visor. A quick story and a little fun fact: I'm a bit stubborn, so when I bought my first helmet and I didn't know any better and I was on a tight budget, I was completely set on buying the cheapest motorcycle helmet that there was available, even if the advice on the internet was to not do exactly that. Somehow I convinced myself that all helmets were the same, and I ended up not even trying the expensive helmets out. I know. So I went and bought an €100 Scorpion helmet with no fancy features and no pin lock. And the results? A foggy visor. This made riding nearly impossible, especially in the cold weather. I cannot believe that people ride without pin lock after experiencing how nice it is having a pin lock myself. At first I thought I could live without one, and I was thinking, if my visor fogs up, I'll just open up the visor. Bro, it's freezing cold, and it also starts raining, so you can't keep your visor open because of the rain, and you can't close it because it's gonna fog up. So I was riding half closed, half open, and that helmet didn't last long anyway, so I upgraded. And I upgraded to this helmet, the Rafa from AGC 90S or something. I don't know, I don't think they make them anymore. But it's a game changer. It's so much safer not having your visor fog up. Another thing is, if you have a tinted visor, make sure to switch it out for a regular visor. I know I'm kind of a bad example right now, but trust me, I cannot see shit. In reality, a child could come out, or a cyclist could pop up out of nowhere, and this might be more common in the Netherlands than other countries, but these damn cyclists, man, they are untouchable by the law. And I don't know if you guys share my frustration, but these guys are texting, listening to music, and running red lights like they don't exist. My buddy smashed into a cyclist, and he was just riding across the road on a random place, so my buddy wasn't in the wrong. But even though he wasn't wrong, he didn't win that case. So tinted visors at night, basically just don't do it. Tip number 2 is reflective gear. It's not fashionable and you look like a nerd, but I have to admit, reflective clothing really makes a difference. The truth is, most drivers aren't looking out for motorcyclists, especially at night, so you have to make yourself as visible as possible. Some riding clothes like this one already have some light strips, some reflective strips, but it's not enough. I think, in my opinion, you should still wear a reflective vest, put it on your seat. If you have a backpack, you can also buy reflective backpack covers. I didn't even know this, but I did some research for this video and found out about it. So even if you don't have a vest, but you do have a backpack, you can put the backpack cover, obviously, in your bag. But as you might have noticed, I don't wear those things. I don't wear reflective vests, and just because I don't do it doesn't mean you shouldn't. Wow, I think that's the second bad example of today. Well, maybe I need to listen to my own advice a bit. Anyways, tip number 3. This might sound obvious, but don't underestimate this one. Check your lights. I know what you're thinking, but checking your lights is a must, and people forget it. Especially when you're riding at night, it's very important to have those lights working. If you found out at night that they're not working, that's pretty bad. Unfortunately, again, I'm speaking from experience, because me and my buddy, the same one who crashed into a old crusty man, we came back from a football match. I'm a proud Ajax supporter. We're doing surprisingly good for how bad we are at the moment. Anyway, while we were riding, he asked me if my lights were on, and I was like, yeah, of course. Turns out they weren't, and if the police had stopped me, that would have been a pretty penny. However, it's also pretty dangerous. So check your high beams, your tail lights, blinkers, and if your bike has any additional lights, check those as well. Might be nice if you're stuck on the road and they are working. Tip number 4 is about defensive riding, and this might be one of the most important tips, because you have to stay safe and make sure you think that every driver is out there to get you. The sad reality is that people don't really look for motorcycles because we're not a threat to them. They're looking out for cars. Especially in the winter, people kind of forget that motorcyclists are a thing. We're almost an extinct species. There are just a few idiots who ride in the winter, like me. So ride defensively and always think of what you want to do to stay safe if another driver doesn't see you. Some examples: whenever I stop at a stoplight, just like now, I'm always looking at my mirror, just seeing if someone is behind me, and I'll flash my brakes. I'll stay in first gear to take off, but that might be difficult since I'm riding a 125cc motorcycle, but hey, I can at least try. Also, intersections, these are dangerous enough at daytime, but at night you've got more reckless driving and people, more dangerous maybe, drunk driving. So be careful at the red lights, be sure to check left and right even if the light is green. I've had two scenarios where people ran the red light and I would have been in big trouble. One-way ticket to the hospital and otherwise to heaven. Tip number 5. Night riding means less traffic but also means more hidden surprises. And in rural areas you can see some animals that suddenly appear, and me and my uncle almost flattened the dog. He just froze in the way, but I'm convinced he's an F1 driver because that swerve made me do some prayers. Turns out he's just a truck driver. And in the cities you should be more worried about plot holes, leaves, oil, so decrease your speed, increase your volume, increase your following distance, and expect the unexpected. I hope this video helps you guys. If you want more motorcycling tips, make sure to like and subscribe so I know this video is well received. And stay safe. I hope I see you in the next one. Ciao.